So back in the day when they were training baby elephants to stay in a certain area, they would train them by a rope that was connected to a stake. And the baby elephant would come to understand when it would tug on the rope and it would do a hard stop that they were to stay in that area. And then the elephants became huge, large, big, shall I say more, and you could take that same rope and that same stake, and the first tug they would come to a hard stop. So that is my goal for you in these 7 weeks. And as a spiritual leader, I have seen so many people, including moi, that we have been trained with a small rope of understanding, and we get tugged, and as soon as we feel that first tug, our tendency is, well, let me go back and let me stay and let me come to a hard stop. My knowing for you and your consciousness is I'm calling forth the work of your soul to say not only will you feel the tug, that's okay, but you will not only move past the tug, but that you will let the rope go. All right. Are you in agreement with that? We are looking at in consciousness, not that you come here so you can learn new things. More than likely, it's so you can unlearn all the yada yada that has kept you in bondage from being free. And so that is the goal of why we all invest our time, is to each and every week invite you to look at what are you holding on to that is holding you back. Because if it's still holding you back, it was never yours in the first place to hold on to. Right? And so it's that kind of space. And so we look at so many people in humanity that are governed by, live down on their knees, only responding to the 5 senses. Well, let me learn those and let them govern my entire life. Right? The real mastery in embodying the Jesus, the Mohammed, the Joan of Arc, the Mother Teresa, the Gandhis, the Martin Luther King, praise God, are people, they live in a non-physical reality. They are not governed by the 5 senses, they are aware of them. But they are governed by a power that is greater than they are, that doesn't have a gender, doesn't have any kind of personality, but it becomes personal to us because we let it in. You know, the infinite, as I said last week, doesn't go, you irritate me and I'm going to have these things happen to you and I don't know what's wrong with you and that's going to happen to you. Hello, that's like, this is the 21st freaking century. Okay, let's get very, very real about that. But that's the whole joy of metaphysics, is meaning beyond the physical. What do a lot of metaphysical communities do? They teach people based on the 5 senses, not the magic and the miracles of weather changing and all the other things that's possible to us. And so we're constantly, even us as a community, are constantly feeling the tug of the rope. Well, what was those traditional people thinking? We feel the tug of the rope and we just go, we don't have a rope. Get over it. No rope. So it's that space. And in Scripture, another one's coming, Steve, I don't need that one. In Scripture is coming, eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, neither have entered into the hearts of man the things which God has in store for them. So what that tells me is that it is the metaphysical reality, the non-physical reality, where I see the magic and miracles. Because just based upon my head and my heart, it could be all over me and I would just miss it. Would that be true for you? Are you with me? Does this work for you? Okay, so we have that kind of space. I love the story about the 2 brothers, and they were known in this small, old-timey village. These 2 brothers were known to steal sheep. And so they had stolen a bunch of sheep and they got caught. And so back in the day, part of the punishment is they would brand you. Just stay with me. Okay, I wasn't there. I don't know. But anyway, so they branded on the young men's forehead, ST, sheep thief. Okay? One brother couldn't get over it. Held that energy all his remaining life, down, depressed, addiction, you name it. Probably what some of us have done along the way in some way. But he got really depressed and he died really early in his life. And his other brother said, this is what was so. This is what I did, but I'm letting that go now. And I'm not even going to leave this area. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to prove my divine connection and I'm going to live my life and I'm going to let it be so. I won't be stopped by that thing that I did back then. Any of you stopped by something you did back then? Please let that go. And so, that being the case, one day as he was traveling, somebody saw him and asked a new person to that area, what does that ST stand for? And the man said, we don't know. That happened a long time ago, and we think it stands for saint. Okay? And so that is the part of the transformation, because it doesn't matter really what anyone else tells you or what you said at confession. What matters is it's no longer your story. And that's what matters. Because if it's not your story, it won't be anybody else's story about you. If it's not your story, it won't be anyone else's story about you. So why not prove to yourself that you can have a new story? It's very exciting in order to do that, right? So there's that evolution. So when we're talking about the book, Ask and It Is Given, which is that space and that particular energy, we're looking at the fact that it's likened to, as Abraham would say, you walk around with a bunch of static in your mind and in your heart, and it's likened to if you are in a car and you're on a radio station, but you miss it by 2 degrees, and all you hear is a blah, 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 blah. That's right. And so that is what happens to us in our awareness when we are not really tuned into the station that is meant for us. I love the fact that, and we added this years later in doing the Spirit Expressing, because Spirit Expressing has been here for, I would say, 32, 33 years. We've been doing this, I wasn't here then, but others were. They've been doing those Spirit Expressing programs every week. Some people made the best friends, and they met and met and met, some of them for 18, 20-something years, right? But what we added that we felt was the most important was at the beginning of the workbook, we added heart agreements. Heart agreements. I will honor you. I will honor the space that you bring each week to this group. I will acknowledge you. I will be willing to hear a different opinion, right, than the one that I may feel. I will create a space for understanding, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought, that is a missing in our society, is people do not take the time to create heart agreements. Whether it's in friendship, whether it's in a marriage, whether it's in a gathering, they have the heart agreements of protection. They have the heart agreements about, let me tell you about all the people and how they've disappointed me, because I want to make sure that you never do that. And I'm going to be on the lookout, because the first time you do it, I'm running. But let me set you up already to fail, okay? Because I'm already holding that you're like somebody I knew in the past. Does anybody do that? That's one of the biggest ropes of our humanity. We do it to preachers, we do it to doctors, we do it to people that we love, is that we hold them liable for some other mistake back in whenever, another incarnation that people made, and it's very unfair. When you make a heart agreement with somebody, it's about, today is a brand new day. And my heart is open, and I'm going to be in that space. And that was the value of what Abraham was teaching us in these first 3 chapters, is just that. And in that consciousness of that. We also know that there's value in symbology, and there's value in like vision boards and things like that. I love going back to the vision boards that I created, cut out images of the magazine that my soul was attracted to, and I can still go back now and look at some of them 20 and 30 years old, and I go, wow, that came true, check, that came true, wow, that came true, oh, that came true, because it's an image in my mind. And that's how we learn language when we were little. I mean, that's the ancient way of learning, was through symbols and beautiful images. And it's still as empowering as it was then as it is today, you see. And so what do you have as far as your imagery? I remember working in a healthcare as a trainer in a hospital one day, and I loved the breaks because I would be traveling a lot and I'd go find my space. Well, this woman was determined that I was going to look at all these photos from her photo album. I mean, some of you may not know what that is. We had photos. It was in a book. You glued them in, right? Okay, we're happy for you if you don't remember, but don't ever tell me. Okay, so she was just insisting upon the lunch hour that I engage in her showing me every photo. I went to Paris, and I went to Europe, and I went to Giverny and all that, and I went, oh, yeah, oh, that's so pretty, oh, that's so wonderful. Until 9 months later, and there I am. I'm in Paris. I'm at Giverny. I'm looking at Monet's garden, and all the images that I had held in my joy for her, because I was happy for her, was all I was now living that in manifestation. And that's the power of imagery. As long as you don't carry those ropes, I can't do that, can't get off work, I can't do that, I can't do that. Oh, I got all these ropes. They're bigger than dental floss. It's the freedom of that, you see, and the understanding of that. One of the things when we talk about the energetic presence of the non-physical reality is, and this was what created our unity movement, was the intangible to the tangible. I have tuberculosis. They're saying it can't be cured. I'm going to work with the non-physical because I want to live and double my life expectancy. Thank you, Myrtle. Yes? I have this leg that's short because I was in an accident, said Charles, but I want to change that. You couldn't go to any doctor that said you can grow your own leg longer. Have you ever been to a doctor that said that? No, I don't think so. Anyway, well, Charles, in his lifetime, his leg grew. Non-physical to physical. Well, what we also work with is the electric system called our chakras. And Reverend Kimberly is going to be teaching that in October. But it's very powerful. It's not woo-woo. This is the 21st century. It's your EKG, people. It's your pounding pounds. It's your life force. It's your chi. It's who you are. If your chakras are blocked, it's like, we can tell. I'm just saying. You do some very weird things. I'm just saying. But if you look at the body in its most simplistic form, you look at your body, the chakras here, the root, the emotional and the mental is of the physical, mostly dimension, yes? Mostly dimension. And the root chakra, the core of the root is I belong here, and I have a right to my life. I belong here. Not as my papa said or my preacher said or not as my teacher said what I'm going to be. I have a right to be here. I am a seed of understanding that was sent in the Christ consciousness. There wasn't one, there was many. And it's sitting in that space of that part. But the part that is interesting to me is that the bridge of earth and heaven, See, I mean, don't people get that? We're not talking about earth is a place and there's some kind of promised land called heaven. Hoody-doody-doo. There's earth and heaven simultaneously that you're toting around all the time inside your being. And it's the integration of both of those dynamics. If you've been duped thinking one day you're going to go somewhere and sleep and have fruit and people wait on you, good luck with that. You know, I hope you'll come back to this lifetime and give me a slap and tell me I'm wrong. But to my understanding, in the beginning, God created the heavens. He even gave you more than one to choose from. And the earth. And didn't say you have to be good to get one. It's about understanding that your essence is all of that, and this is earth, and this is heaven. And how do you integrate that? Because the bridge is your heart. And if you don't forgive, and if you're punishing somebody that hurt you in 3rd grade, and if you're holding on to stuff, and if somebody poo-poo ever disappointed you, I'm so sad. And that heart place, if you are blocked in your heart, you are interrupting and not integrating the pathway to allow heaven to happen to you. Because the heaven to happen to you is the power of the I am, the power of the 3rd eye, when you don't have to worry at night where your children are, because if you'll be quiet and not panic, your 3rd eye can see where they are. And even though you may not want to see it, you can actually see what they're doing. God help you. And the light of your life. Do you understand this? This is so, so important for you to understand. Earth and heaven, you tote around every day. And what is the energy about? And this is what opens it. Where so much of humanity is belt down, feed me, love me, care for me, poo-poo, take care of me, okay. Where this is the magic, you see. You know, you only have me a few weeks left, so I'm just telling you, if you come, just get ready for it, because I'm on fire right now, you know. But hey, you know, I'm just saying, you got a fireball coming in, so yes. But so important, so important. We're so trained. Same old story since the 13th century. Same old limited, yucky story. When we are powerful, as Marianne would say, Marianne Williamson, beyond our knowingness, we are so powerful. And so you learn things. You learn that if you make a to-do list, you are first on that list. Not ego, but that you take care of you. You learn that you must allow your vibration to change. You may not be able to eat the same things your parents ate and your grandparents ate. You need to allow your vibration to change. You need to understand that if you do get sick, often it's not what did you do wrong, it's what are you doing right. It's about releasing toxins so the new vibration can come in your life, you see. It's about all of those things unfolding, that when you live in a non-physical reality, your life is just different. It's just different. And you have to be willing not to fit in. Right? Because fitting in doesn't have to be cool. If you're ever sacrificing yourself, it's the opposite of being cool. Yes. And so there's that energetic space of that. There's a friend of mine that she had it in her mind. She had to have a condo. And she's a New Thought student. And so the condo would almost close, and then something would happen, and she'd work with something almost happened working with the realtor, and then she had her mind on this, and something would work. And so she calls me in a funk, I can't believe it, and why is this working against me? And it's like, whoa. What is this inviting you to do? You're pushing the law. Anytime you're pushing a law, whoa. Okay? Step back from it. Well, maybe I don't need to look at a condo. Remember the vibration that life is not working for you. If you take that into the new, you're going to just keep creating that. That's why we have so many divorces on the planet. It's because people take the old reality into a new reality and they just make it the same so they can be comfortable. and prove themselves right, And so it's that energetic space of new vibration. And so in that field, it's like, what is your new vibration? And don't go into that past of what everybody did to you or didn't do to you or what couldn't happen. She found a beautiful home. It closed effortlessly. And her daughter said, I never wanted to be in a condo anyway. I wanted a house. I wanted a backyard because I want a dog.
There you go.
And the rest is history. Yeah. But we are required. Eyes have not seen nor ears heard, neither have entered into our hearts what is in store for us if we give up the rope, you see. Esther would say that she was trained in traditional Christianity. And so everything that she would go to do, she would hear, oh, the devil's going to get me. Oh my God, devil's going to get me. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. Because she was trained. That had been her learning until she was willing to open up to a new vibration so that she could channel the new of what was her life path. And she had to give that up. By the way, we don't believe in the devil. Anybody stop breathing here? Please pat yourself on the back. Devil is the word lived. Devil spelled backwards is the word lived. If we had a devil, it would be the people that never live right now because they always live in the past, right? So that would be that energetic field. One of my saddest moments in my time here was we used to have a Montessori school. And there was a little boy, and I would go out and I'd talk to him in the kids' playground. And he would tell me about all this magic. He said, oh my gosh, I saw the kind of car that my family was going to get before they even knew they were going to look for a car, Reverend Temple. And he said, and I knew this, and I saw this person, and I could tell they don't have any energy. And he was like so gifted. I was so excited to see his life unfold. What does his parents do? They put him in a Baptist children's school. Now, I was a Baptist, recovered. I know there's some good to it, but when it comes to magic and miracles, see, we're not really taught that there, just saying. So there was that particular space of that, and the energy of that. And so I remember that story that I just love, and it calls me sometimes, like wind blowing on my face, that a couple are observing their little boy. He's 4 or 5, and he walks into the nursery with the little baby in the crib, and he says to his sister, please tell me about God. I'm starting to forget. Maybe some of you have forgotten the magic and miracles of what is capable in your life for you, your children, your families, and your community. My prayer is that you will remember. Thank you for coming. Bless you. Thank you. Going to the coffee shop per week per family is at least $72 to $85 a week. Therapy is $100 to $250 per week or per appointment. Dinner out is $65 to $110, and that doesn't even include the alcohol. Theater for entertainment, 2 people, $80 to $132, and that does not include the cost of dinner before. First Unity, a place, a beacon, a lighthouse, the heart of this city and the heart of this nation and of this country and of this world, teaching people to awaken and live their empowered and amazing selves. First Unity, that gives you food, spiritual food, that can transform you from the place you are to the place you long to be. First Unity, the teachings and the tools that allow you to let go of addictions and habits and things that are in your way, so you may be free, so you may fly, so you may live boldly and brave and loving right from the core of your heart. What is the value that you place upon such a place?